Hello everyone, I hope you all are doing well at your end. In today's video, I am going to share with you distribution of gymnosperms in India with particular reference of conifers to Himachal Pradesh. So let's start the video. Students, you know very well, gymnosperms are mainly xerophytic in nature and living gymnosperms are distributed worldwide with a majority, particularly the conifers in temperate and some Arctic regions of the world. Cycads and gnatophyte are mainly tropical to subtropical in their distribution. Gymnosperms are mainly considered xerophytic as they grow in extreme weather either in snow hills or in tropic. According to Raizada and Sani in 1960, out of total population of 70 genera and 725 species of gymnosperm in the world, only 14 genera and about 15 species have been reported from India. And the Indian gymnosperm flora is mainly represented by cycadales, coniferales, taxales and gnatales. Ginkgo biloba of gingoales is only cultivated species in some Indian garden. So let's start with first one, that is cycadales. Indian cycadales are represented by only 5 species of cycas and are mainly in South India. These are Cycas padomi, that is present in Madras and dry hills of Andhra Pradesh, Cycas urcinalis, which is present in Andaman and Nicobar Island and some dry deciduous forest of South India, Cycas rumphi, that is present in Andaman and Nicobar Island, Cycas crifti, that is present in Manipur and Naga Hills, and Cycas pectinata, that is present in Assam, Bihar, Sikkim and several parts of eastern India. Cycas rabulata, a Japanese species, is cultivated commonly in Indian garden. It does not occur in wild state. Likewise, female Cycas rabulata very commonly grown as ornamental plant in Himachal Pradesh. Next is coniferales. As you know, coniferales are the dominant forest maker of the world. Out of 54 living genera of coniferales in the world, 10 have been reported from different parts of India. These are Avis, Cedrus, Cephalotaxus, Cuprus, Juniperus, Larix, Picea, Pinus, Podocarpus and Thuja. The distribution or majority of these members is restricted mainly in the Himalayas and their distribution is governed chiefly by altitudes. Next is gnatales. Indian gnatales include species of Gnetum, Ephedra and Welwitschia. The third genus of the order has not been reported from India. 5 species of Gnetum, that is Gnetum ulla, Gnetum contractum, Gnetum nimon, Gnetum montanum and Gnetum latifolium occur in various parts of the country. According to Bhardwaj, various Indian species of Gnetum along with their places of distribution in parenthesis include Gnetum ulla, that is mainly present in Western Ghat near Khandala, forest of Kerala, Nilgiri, Andhra Pradesh and Odisha. Gnetum contractum is present in Nilgiri Hills, Konur and hills of Kerala. Gnetum nimon is present in eastern parts of the country, particularly Assam. Gnetum montanum is present in Assam, Sikkim and parts of Orissa. And Gnetum latifolium is present in Andaman and Nicobar Island. Next is Ephedra. Ephedra in India is represented by only 6 species. These are Ephedra foliata, Ephedra gerardiana, Ephedra intermedia, Ephedra nabrodensis, Ephedra resiliana and Ephedra saxatilis. These are distributed widely in dry parts of Haryana, Punjab, Rajasthan and parts of Sikkim, Kashmir and also at high altitude in Himalayas. Distribution of conifers in India with particular reference to Himachal Pradesh. Students, you know very well, Conifer is tree that bears cone and needle-like or scale-like leaves that are typically evergreen. Conifers are of major importance as the source of softwood and also supply resin and turpentine. You can see here different species of conifers. Native gymnosperm of the Indian Western Himalayas are total 9 genera and 30 species and 2 varieties, and these are Ephedra, that is 12 species, Cedrus 1 species, Pinus 3 species, Picea 1 species, Thuja 1 species, Avis 2 species, Cupress 1 species, Juniperus 7 species and Taxus 2 species. Family Ephedraceae contain Ephedra pangenesis, Ephedra giardiana, Ephedra intermedia, Ephedra curicensis, Ephedra major, Ephedra sextilis, Ephedra youngthangenesis. And next is family Pinaceae. It contains Cedrus theodara, Thuja dumosa, Pinus giardiana, Pinus roxburghii, Pinus falciana and Picea samithiana. Next is family Cupraceae. It contains Abies pindro, Abies spectabilis, Cupress torullosa, Juniper communis variety sextilis. And next is family Taxaceae. Taxaceae contain Taxus contorta and Taxus falciana. 6 species of juniper have been reported from higher altitude of eastern as well as western Himalayan region of India and Bhutan. These are Juniper communis occur between 2900 to 4250 meter in Garhwal Himalayas, whereas Juniper coxi grow both in eastern as well as western Himalayas. Juniper's macropoda grows between 2500 to 4300 meter in Ladakh, Kanawar and Alkanda Valley, whereas Juniper recurva and Juniper sexulata grow between 3000 to 5000 meter in the eastern Himalaya. Juniper valsiana grow at an altitude between 3000 to 4200 meter in the Himalayas region. Larix scriptiana occur generally mixed with Abies, Pinus and Thuja in Sikkim, Chumbi Valley of Tibet, Bhutan and Missi Hill in Assam. Picea samithiana grows in western Himalayas and attain a height of about 60 meter. It grows from Afghanistan to Kumaon. Pinus is represented by 6 species in India. These are Pinus roxburghii, Pinus falciana, Pinus insularis, Pinus giardiana, Pinus armenti and Pinus mercusii. They are distributed throughout in Himalayas. Pinus roxburghii, that is locally called as cheel, grow at lower altitude between 2000 to 5000 feet, whereas Pinus falciana grow in northwestern Himalaya ranging from an elevation of 5000 to 12,000 feet. Pinus giardiana variety Chilgoja occur on the Himalayan flanks, extending from Himachal to Afghanistan and Baluchistan, ranging within the altitude of 5000 to 12,000 feet. Pinus insularis grow in Khassia and Chittorgarh hills. 2 species of Podocarpus, that is Podocarpus nerifolia and Podocarpus falciana, occur in India. The former grow in Andaman Nicobar and eastern Himalaya, whereas later grow in Nilgiri hills and Assam. Thuja dumosa grows luxuriantly in Darjeeling and adjacent regions, along with Avis densa above an altitude of 2700 meters. Beside the above mentioned 10 genera, which grow naturally in different parts of the India, some conifers are cultivated as ornamental in Indian garden. These include Araucaria of Araucariaceae, Thuja occidentalis, Cupress of Cupraceae. Calitris of Cupraceae is grown as a hedge plant in Nilgiri, whereas Cryptomeria japonica of Taxodiaceae is grown in Darjeeling and other areas. Next is some well-known gymnosperm of India. First one is citrus. Citrus in India is represented by only one species, that is Citrus devdara. This beautiful tree is famous for its wood and grow in western Himalayas between 1200 to 3300 meters. Cephalotaxus grow in eastern Himalaya and is represented by only two species, Cephalotaxus grifti and Cephalotaxus mani. Then is Cuprous tortuosa. Cuprous tortuosa grows throughout in the outer and middle range of Himalayas from Chamba Hills in Himachal Pradesh to Akka Hills in Assam at an altitude from 1800 to 2800 meter. Cephalotaxus fenivorus and Cephalotaxus hemivarensis are cultivated as ornamental plants in Indian gardens. Abies is represented in the country by only 4 species, out of which Abies dalevii and Abies danosa grows in eastern Himalayas, whereas Abies pindro and Abies spectabilis are restricted to western Himalayas. Abies pindro grows luxuriantly at about 2500 meter above sea level, whereas Abies delevii occur commonly at an altitude of about 2750 to 3350 meters above sea level. Abies densa grow luxuriantly in Darjeeling and adjacent hills. Conifers are the dominant forest maker of the world. Out of 54 living genera of conifers in the world, 10 have been reported from different parts of India. These are Abies, Cephalotaxus, Cuprous, Junipers, Larix, Picea, Pinus, Podocarpus and Thuja, as I explained to you earlier. The distribution of majority of these is restricted mainly in the Himalayas and governed chiefly by altitude. So students, that's all for this video. In next video, I will throw more light on the gymnosperms which are actually present in Himachal Pradesh. Thanks for listening.